Yo, what's up guys, you're back with TechNick, and today we have another speed test featuring the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro up against the OnePlus 7T this time around. The Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro comes paired with Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 865 processing chip, which is paired with 8 gigs of RAM, the version that I have, and a 90Hz refresh rate panel, which is enabled. The OnePlus 7T comes with Qualcomm's predecessor, the Snapdragon 855 Plus processing chip, and this one that I have also has 8 gigs of RAM. As you guys can clearly see, we both have 8 gigs of RAM over here, and we have 7nm technology running on the 7T and 7nm plus technology running on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro. We're going to be using my fancy little fingers, so to keep things accurate, we're going to be pairing GoPro footage at the bottom left hand corner. Guys, this is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go. We're going to be starting here with round 1. As you guys may have noticed already, we have 4 rounds this time around. So in round 1, first point goes to the Mi 10 Pro, booting up just 6 seconds quicker than the 7T. Going into the next portion of round 1, refreshing the app icons when first going into the phone. The 7T actually takes that point over there. Round 4, guys, something new over here. We're actually going to be testing out RAM management. I'll get to that a little bit later, so stay tuned for that one. We're going to be shooting through to fingerprint sensors over here. We both have in-display fingerprint sensors, and I was complaining slightly when I did the unboxing of the Mi 10 Pro that it has a little bit of a shoddy feel when you're using the fingerprint sensor. It doesn't always work, but this time around it actually took each and every single shot against the 7T and got that second point in round best 3 out of 3. But when it comes to facial recognition, the opposite can be said. The OnePlus 7T is quicker every single time over here, giving it its second point in round 1. Round 2, we're going from camera down the way to PUBG. Round 3, we're going to do PUBG all the way back up to camera to test out the speed of reopening apps. And then round 4 will be about RAM management. So there will be no RAM management in round 3. That will be in round 4. Round 3's purpose is about how quickly we can reopen each individual app, whether it is being closed in the background or not. So far we have the Xiaomi 3 points ahead of the OnePlus 7T here in round 2 when initially opening up the apps. The system apps will be pretty similar, I must say. I just added a 1 in calculator to see if the apps will actually keep open later on. So far opening up settings, we have things, well, phone was pretty similar, settings was pretty similar, but the Mi 10 just took it by a hair. I don't give a point every single time, guys, only if it is a few seconds or a few milliseconds more than the other one. If there is nothing, I don't give a tied point. I actually just don't allocate a point. When it comes to running an internet speed test, we have 1 second quicker on the OnePlus 7T. I was surprised with that due to us having Wi-Fi 6 on the Mi 10 Pro and not on the 7T. Opening up Spotify, the Mi 10 Pro takes it once again. Going out to Photoshop Express now to export the photo that we took earlier when we took a snap using that selfie cam. They are both doing pretty similar things, and when saving them to gallery, the Mi 10 Pro takes another point there by a hair of a second. I had to give it there though because it did export the photo slightly quicker. Opening up Premiere Rush was pretty similar, but actually going into the project itself, the OnePlus 7T surprisingly opened it up quite a lot quicker than the Mi 10 Pro over here. We're going to be exporting this 4K clip at 25 frames per second, as you guys can see there. It does take a hell of a long time, so keep your eyes at the bottom right hand corner for the percentage of speed that we're currently running on the clip. It's back to 100 times real time because the OnePlus 7T, I just wanted to show you the difference between the two, came in 6 seconds later than the Mi 10 Pro, giving the Mi 10 Pro an extra point, making it go in double digits there to 10 points, 6 points more than the OnePlus 7T's current score of 4. Going into Astral VPN, since we need a VPN here in China, the 10 Pro takes it, but they both turned it on pretty similarly there. Going into our first social media app, now that we have our VPN on, the Mi 10 Pro opens it up and loads the page slightly quicker than the 7T. I must say the 7T isn't doing a bad job and sometimes snagging the points away from the 10 Pro over here, even with a slightly older processing chip. Now remember that the Xiaomi processing chip, the Snapdragon 865, is run on 7nm plus technology, and the OnePlus 7T is only run on 7nm technology, so it lacks that plus sign. The plus kind of helps it with driver updates, so we're going to be getting a lot of driver updates throughout the year and the future. I'm not sure how long Qualcomm will be supporting driver updates on the Snapdragon 865, but what this means is that you're going to constantly get increased performance, so these tests will get better and better even 6 months down the line. Maybe I'll even redo this test to just see how it stacks up. So far I'm pretty impressed with the 7T. It is, I mean, half points now I guess, but it is a lot cheaper than the Mi 10 Pro, almost half the price here in China. That is a little bit different overseas. There's pretty much just $100 difference between the two in America. though the Mi 10 Pro is yet to launch globally, so stay tuned for those prices. So far, the Mi 10 Pro is opening up games quicker here as well, now 10 points ahead of the OnePlus 7T in round 2 when initially opening up apps. As soon as we jump into flip diving, we have the Mi 10 Pro opening up again. So as I was saying earlier, with the driver updates on the Mi 10 Pro, I've already gotten 3 of them, and their Antutu benchmark scores have skyrocketed in performance when running benchmarks, though we'll have to see if that is true when it comes to speed tests like this. Now remember, you guys are not going to notice too much of a difference if you actually use either of these phones day to day based on this speed test, because they are both so similar and so close, guys. 1 or 2 seconds is not going to make a big difference to you. The purpose of this test is just to show you guys the actual raw differences, and that is why I turn off the animations on both phones to see how accurate it is. Now we're going in round 3, testing out how fast we can open each individual app again in round 3 over here. This has nothing to do with RAM management, so if it has killed the app, it has killed the app. It is all about loading times and how quickly we can get back into the app and back into action. So far we have 3 points for the Mi 10 Pro as opposed to nothing for the 7T. Chrome was a tie over there, was another tie with Netflix, and going into YouTube, surprisingly, the OnePlus 7T snags its first point in round 3 over there. Next app here is Twitter, and the 7T grabs it again. Going into Instagram, it was really similar over there, and we'll shoot through to our last social media app, which is Facebook, which the 7T once again takes, making it tie at 3 apiece in round 3. Turning off Astral VPN, the 10 Pro takes the lead once again, slightly quicker there. Opening up Rush, we didn't connect to the internet again on the Mi 10 Pro, but they both opened really similarly, so neither of them got a point. But the Mi 10 Pro did open up Photoshop Express slightly quicker than the 7T. Going into Spotify over here, very, very similar once again. And as soon as we go into the internet speed test over here, they both kept them open and they were both very similar. Settings, the Mi 10 Pro actually took over there. I'm pretty surprised by this since it was pretty even in phone, and system apps should be pretty similar here, though the 7T opened up calculator quicker over there. So system apps on both versions of the softwares of these phones are definitely different. And opening up camera, the Mi 10 Pro opens it up slightly quicker, edging it 2 points ahead in round 3. Now round 4 is all about RAM management, so we're going to go back to PUBG since our last app opened was camera. Test out RAM management. I only allocate a point if one of the phones keeps the app open and the other one has killed it. If they both keep them open, there is no point, and if they both kill it, there is no point. So far the 7T has kept 2 apps open and the Mi 10 Pro has kept none. I have made sure to turn off all battery optimizations on both devices, so there is no reason for either of these phones to be closing any of these apps since they both have 8 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough. So far just 4 points for the 7T in round 4 over here, and absolutely nothing for the Mi 10 Pro, though the Mi 10 Pro just snagged its first point in Adobe Premiere Rush. This is sped up by 150%, as you guys can see at the bottom right hand corner. I don't want to keep you here all day, and this is not about speed, this is just about RAM management. So far 5 points on the 7T and 1 point on the Mi 10 Pro, and that seems to be the case over here with the final results in round 4. Total results here, 29 points for the Mi 10 Pro and 18 points for the 7T. I must say I'm pretty impressed with the 7T, but I did the same test against the Realme X2 Pro and it was a tie, so that was really impressive against the Mi 10 Pro, and the Mi 10 Pro was 5 points better than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So this is a very interesting score here, guys. Stay tuned for more videos just like this, and until next time, guys, this is TechNick.